Dear friends of the Violet Race Garage, today I am working on a topic that I think is very, very exciting for me. It's about the radioactive emissions of high frequency electrodes. I don't do any medical advice, I don't do any medical things, I don't discuss the impacts of radioactive emissions. It's just a comparison and answering some question that I have. I want to compare the old versus the new electrodes, and I also would like to know what electrode and what material has the highest and the lowest emissions of my electrodes. And therefore, I am also comparing producers. I am comparing Iona, which is from Germany in the 1930s. I am comparing Helios. They are from Austria from the 60s or 70s. And Lutz Neumann, he is the actual producer, and he gave me one of his uranium class electrodes to do this comparison. Thank you very much, Lutz. And now let's go into the thing. Yes. Okay, what do I compare? I compare uranium class electrodes. Uranium glass is the uranium oxide, which is given into the glass to achieve such a nice green color. And this is even a stronger color if you put ultraviolet light on it. So if you want to know if your green glass is uranium glass or not, just put ultraviolet light on it and you will see it immediately. And we have mainly two colors. It's yellow, which is called Anna yellow, and we have a green, which is called Eleonore green, which are two ladies' names here in Germany. Okay, and those are my candidates for the uranium class. On the opposite, we have two other candidates. The one is the old roller electrode with the radioactive earth plates on it. They are glued somehow onto the glass, not inside, they are glued onto the glass. And Aona says this radioactive earth has alpha, beta, and gamma radiation, and they are pretty rare, they are hard to find. And on the other hand, I have Helios electrode from the 70s. There is radioactive material around this metal piece that is going to the top of the electrode. And I think it's also radioactive earth, but I am not sure. It could be other material. Okay, these are the candidates. Now, how did I do my comparison? I put my handle of my Chinese device on the highest power, and then I placed the dosimeter in front of the electrode. Waited 30 seconds for the dosimeter to write an average. This is important because the emissions are wobbling around, they're sometimes high, sometimes low. And after 30 seconds, I took the average value and then I put it in the list. And this is just a easy comparison. Good. Here is the results. Exciting. I have the results. I took the values without high frequency, that is in the middle, and I took the values with high frequency. And here in the first column, you have the candidates and you have the values in the other boxes. So what have been the results? The radioactive earth roller electrode has the strongest radiation, the strongest emissions without high frequency. The other one are much lower. It's really much lower. I'm taking the values in millisievert, which is the biological impact of those emissions. So I think this is the right value. So if you see the radiation with high frequency, you can say it is much, much higher. It's much higher in each case, regardless the material, Regardless the size of electrode, it is just much higher than the radiation without high frequency. And we have two winners. Uh, the one winner is the radioactive Earth condenser electrode from the Helios, and the other winner is the uranium class electrode by Lutz Neumann. This is the electrode he offered me to do this comparison. So we have the modern electrodes seem to be stronger than the older electrodes, and it seems to be comparable values between class electrodes, between radioactive class electrodes and radioactive earth electrodes. And therefore, the winners are uranium class and radioactive earth. In my personal opinion, I thought that the radioactive earth roller electrode would be much stronger, but it is not. And what you also see, um, the smaller uranium glass mushroom electrode also had some very nice values. The weakest radiation, the weakest emission was done by the uranium glass point electrode, but this is, I think, pretty clear because the material, the diameter of the material in which the high frequency was going through the glass is the smallest at the point electrode. So I think this makes sense. Thank you, and see you next time. Maybe I find an expert for a medicine expert for radioactive emissions of electrodes to discuss some further and more medical topics. Have a nice Sunday and greetings from the Violet Rays Garage. Goodbye.